Another day, another scandal in Ireland. This time it's Ireland's national broadcaster Radio Telefís Éireann in the crossfire after it emerged that Ryan Tubridy has been paid far in excess of what has been declared to the Irish public, with top-ups covertly paid through under-the-table means. So to very quickly recap, as there is an awful lot of intricacies to this story and it would take far too long to go into everything here, RTE have been paying Tubridy extra money, concealed money, to keep his publicly declared salary in line with the apparent pay cuts felt all across RTE. Except, obviously, they haven't been felt all across RTE, hence the anger from the ordinary staff of RTE, who have seen their pay and conditions deteriorate, all while Ryan Tubridy is kept happy. The secret payments revealed by auditors span from 2017 to March of this year and total €354,000. In the case of some of the payments, RTE decided to underwrite what was supposed to be paid by their commercial partner, meaning that when the partner pulled out, RTE paid Tubridy instead. His agent, who also represents other talent at RTE, was apparently the one who pushed for these extra payments, which just begs the question, who else is benefiting from a similar arrangement? Tubridy sought to distance himself from this scandal with a thoroughly unconvincing statement where he didn't know about it and it was all RTE's problem. So he wanted us to believe that he didn't realise his pay was more than what was being publicly declared. It's well for some, isn't it? Imagine being so rich that you don't notice you're being paid, in some years, €75,000 more than what is being declared. His first statement, as I said, was unconvincing, so he was forced to issue a second statement where he apologised and said he should have queried the discrepancies. Now, the timeline here is very interesting. On March 3rd of this year, Ryan Tubridy was interviewed by RSVP Live, where he dismissed rumours that he was to step down as host of The Late Late Show. Yet mere weeks later, he announced he was, in fact, stepping down. Around the same time, the auditors were called in to look into irregular payments, the payments made to Tubridy. Coincidence? I'll let you decide for yourself. Either way, funny timing. Another player in this saga is the now former Director General Dee Forbes, first suspended, then forced to resign over the controversy, even though she was leaving the post in July anyway. Again, funny timing, as her resignation meant she couldn't be called to appear before the Oireachtas or Public Accounts Committee to answer the charges. She is also claiming poor health in order to avoid questioning. I mean, I would imagine being caught rotten would cause some anxiety, alright. She released a statement which, as you'd imagine, was lacking, but interestingly claimed that she, quote, did not at any stage act contrary to any advice. Which just begs the question, whose advice? Funny timing again, as shortly after Dee Forbes resigned, RTE released a whopper of a statement. In it, they firmly and squarely laid the blame at the feet of Dee Forbes, claiming that she and she alone had all the information needed to know that Tubridy was being paid more than was being declared. Very handy that every other board member only knew snippets of the info, isn't it? Nice compartmentalising of the facts, so only one person needs to take the fall, a person who is already leaving anyway. All wrapped up in a neat little package, don't you think? The whole debacle will trundle along for some time as more reports and audits are due and more questioning takes place at the two committees in an attempt to convince the public that there will be some accountability. Ultimately, I think we all know that no further accountability will be forthcoming. Ireland doesn't do accountability. Dee Forbes resigned, RTE and the board happily threw her under a bus, and she has decided not to answer questions or attempt to clarify or clear her name. I'm not a betting woman, but I'd wager she will be the only casualty. Ryan Tubridy will no doubt take a step back from his duties, but only until he and RTE feel that enough time has passed before returning to his radio role. So the question is, why is all of this important? Well, because approximately 55% of RTE's funding comes directly from the taxpayer through the TV licence fee, a fee which is looking less and less palatable by the day, not that it ever was to begin with. Taxpayer money pissed up the wall to pay the so-called talent of Irish broadcasting. This whole affair has thrown the salaries of these stars into sharp relief, doubly so when we hear from the ordinary staff of RTE and how badly paid and mistreated they have been, their pay and conditions eroded in an effort to keep the top of the table happy. And for what? Overpaid, bland stars. Genuine question, who here routinely watches RTE anymore? Other than sport, I find myself watching the odd clip online, and that's about it. Yet these so-called stars are being paid more than our Taoiseach. Ryan Tubridy alone earned more than the President of the United States. Is he worth it? Not a bloody chance. Taxpayer money used to keep egos happy, that's all it looks like to me. Oh, but we have to pay the big bucks to attract the top talent. Sure. Well, let's run a test now to try and earn back the public's trust. Offer €100,000 a year to all the top stars, and let's see how many get snapped up by other broadcasters, shall we? We all know the rot starts at the top, and that is no more evident than by the farcical answers that have been given by the board at the two committees. We actually had the chief financial officer unable to answer how much he earns. Only in Ireland would you have a CFO of a state broadcaster unable to tell you his salary, and a Minister for Finance without a bank account. But make no mistake, these people are not incompetent. They are not stupid. They want you to think that they are, because just like our politicians and every other state body, they want you to think of them as hapless gumbeans who don't know their arse from their elbows. Because that is far less sinister a prospect than the truth, which is that they know full well what they are doing and will keep doing it unless or until they get caught. And what they truly excel at is funneling public money into their own pockets and the pockets of their friends and the elite here in Ireland. And Ryan Tubridy, in my opinion, knew full well that his pay was being padded by RTE in a covert manner. Just like what should happen with the HSE, it is time to clear out the top earners and start over. It is far too easy in this country to just waste public money. I guess it really is easy to spend other people's money. I get the feeling that many more people will be ignoring their reminders in the post about their TV licence renewal after this debacle. But don't forget, folks, we are talking about RTE here, where the truth matters. I guess they won't be using that slogan for a bit, but no doubt they will dissect this story in an effort to prove that they are transparent and accountable, all while glossing over some more pertinent stories, like what Helen McEntee has been getting up to lately. The perfect distraction. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, and as always, if you've enjoyed what I've had to say here, then don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified of more content. If you really enjoy my channel, you can now also buy me a coffee, which will be greatly appreciated. I'm also on Twitter, where you can find my real-time ramblings. Links are in the description below. Until next time, slán go fóill.